Bears.
There you go.
All right. Show us the shirt again.
Yeah. Ah, there we go.
Ooh.
Yeah, last time I'm like, what do you mean we're live? And I'm wearing some t-shirt.
Yeah, we've got Brett Wachowski joining us, and we're going to preview St. Joe Bears football here in just a little bit. That's like a legit shirt. Like did you get that? Did you steal that from Guzzo?
No, I probably had to pay double.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Guzzo's like, yeah, I got you set up. I got you a shirt. It's going to cost $50.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no deal coming from Guzzo.
It's a donation to the athletic department. That's what it is. Even though you're alumni, you know. Brett's part of the St. Joe Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Like,
are you really?
Yeah, the big wall, man. Yeah, he's got a nameplate and everything.
What?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I can't remember when. 2005, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Huh. And you have an Adidas shirt on. That's nice.
Yeah.
It's quality.
Is that what this is? Oh, yeah, Adidas.
Yeah.
It's like, known in the morning show parlance as Adidas.
Okay.
Ken likes to say fancy words.
You were the first one that said that.
Say words more fancy.
He's like that guy that comedy parody where he's reading off kids' names in the classroom. And it's just like John. He goes, Jonny.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's John.
Aaron.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a great bit.
Don't be messing with me. Next one's out.
Oh man, no, that's gonna be good. How has your week off of not having to do a football game? How's that been treating you? Because I know you were bummed out that you weren't able to do a game.
It was boring last Friday.
What did you end up doing?
Mow the yard.
Oh, okay. So it was a productive day.
Yeah. But everybody was out of town, so they're shopping for my other daughter's wedding dress. So it was me and our almost 16-year-old dog. So she was good Friday and Saturday. Sunday, I'm like, okay, Amy, it's your dog now.
Speaking of yards, Johnny and I were having a discussion earlier today about recreational vehicles, big RVs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay to park in your driveway forever? Your front yard? If you had a neighbor...
I don't have a driveway. My driveway's in the alley.
That's a neutral position. If your neighbor...
Are you asking my opinion on it?
I am asking your opinion.
If you have this, your house is, I mean, in any town really, but let's not say the exact town, but your house right now, you've got an RV and you decide to park it in your RV or park it in your driveway. Is that okay?
In the front yard, not the backyard.
Or you're talking not in the driveway or just right in my front yard?
No, in the driveway, but in the front part of the driveway.
As long as it's on paved ground when you're not living in it.
Oh, so if you're living in it, that's an issue?
Well, yeah, because I think it would be.
Well, it's your property, though. You should be able to do whatever you want.
Well, that's not always true. You have to be considerate of the neighbors around you who bought stuff.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
The rules.
I agree.
Most townships have it where you can park in the front, but it has to be on paved ground. I don't think you can park in front of St. Joe City, though.
No, you can't. And there was a story earlier about a gentleman who has an RV parked in the front part of his driveway, and his neighbors complained, and eventually the police had to say, stop doing that. And so he wants the ordinance changed now.
Yeah, I can see it, as long as it's licensed.
Yeah.
Well, every vehicle is supposed to have current tags if it's parked in the front.
Yeah, if you've got people renting it out or, friends staying over for months on end, then that's different.
Yeah.
But if it's not blocking anybody's line of sight, I think it's totally fine.
Yeah, as long as it's not encroaching on the sidewalk and driving, as long as there's current tags on it.
Now, what if somebody has a really, really crappy car in their driveway?
Define crappy.
Yeah.
Well, that was me for 25 years.
A junker or something that's, the not good for the environment, probably rust falling off of it. Can you tell them to get it off their driveway?
Most communities have an ordinance that has to be an operating vehicle.
Yeah.
So it has to have current tags, can't have flat tires,
Right.
can't have a motor hanging out of
it. Yeah, the noise too. You want it. There are noise ordinances, so those make sense.
But no, I would be fine with it. My neighbor had one in St. Joe for a long time. It was back parking lot next door to me. Didn't bother me.
In Washington, D.C., every couple of years, you have to get your car emissions checked.
Oh, yeah.
And so if you don't get your emissions checked, you're not street legal anymore.
Yeah.
And so that takes a lot of the junkers off the road, because if it doesn't run, if you can't get it to the place, if it doesn't pass the inspection, all those things.
Yep. Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Previewing St. Joe football here in just a moment.
We got any viewers?
Oh, yeah, man. We got tons of viewers.
How many we got?
I think it's just you and me. I'm kidding. No, we got some great people that are really excited about it.
Another dreary day, gray skies overhead, highs upper 60s to near 70 degrees. A few showers possible, though seeing some dry time. Becoming partly to mostly cloudy tonight, cooling to the mid-50s. Sun returns just in time for the weekend, warming slightly as well. Highs mid-70s by Sunday. Staying dry most of Monday, though a cold front in the evening will bring scattered showers and a few rumbles of thunder Tuesday. I'm WSBT meteorologist Jessica Burns.
It's the morning show on 94.9 WSJM.
Later on this evening, you can catch St. Joe Bears football right here on 94.9 WSJM. We'll have Joel Cordes and Brett Witkowski. They'll tell you all about the game and get you ready for it with the pregame starting, Brett, around 6:35-ish is when you guys get things going, right?
You got it.
All right. Then it should be a good game. Looking forward to it. We're previewing that game right now, and the St. Joe Bears football previews brought to you by our friends at Laser Graphics. Give them the stuff they want from Laser Graphics. Go to lasergraphics.com. That's laser with a Z. And Brett Witkowski, you had a week off because of the St. Joe Bears having a forfeit. How much did that affect? First, how much did that affect you and your regular routine?
Well, it threw me off because everybody was out of town. It was not the normal fall Friday night. So I'm glad, or in last week's case, Thursday night. So I'm glad we're back to normal routine.
Yeah.
Did we ever find out why they forfeited? They said it was internal problems. Could they just not find a bus driver?
No, I think they had maybe low numbers.
Oh.
There was possibility of players not quite eligible. It's just, I think, more than one thing caused the forfeit.
Got it.
Now, how do you think this week off affected the St. Joe Bears?
Well, I think not playing probably was not a positive for them last Friday. After what happened to them the first week in Niles, and that was St. Joe's worst loss since 1952.
Wow.
When they lost to Elkhart Central. I think not playing was not what Coach wanted. I think they wanted to run out there, see how the changes in practice and different things would help them be a better team. So I am 99% sure St. Joe wish they would have played last Friday. Kalamazoo Central did not play the first week. Their game got canceled because of the heat. They just could not find a date and a time to play Kalamazoo Lady Norks. So Kalamazoo Central opened up last week with a pretty good-sized victory over Sturgis, 47-34, and Sturgis beat up on Coldwater in week one pretty good. So Kansas Central is looking to go 2-0 for the first time since 2013 here today. So I think what's important for St. Joe, they have to have a good first series, have to have a good first quarter.
Yeah, because you've got that momentum that Kalamazoo Central has, and then you have that sort of the brushing off the dust that St. Joe has of not playing last week. So that you're, like you said, that crucial first series. But is Kalamazoo Central? They've had some struggles over the years, so it's actually nice that they got themselves a victory. But how do you think the St. Joe Bears will fare if they get off on the right foot when they get things started?
Well, this is a program that has struggled for a long time. It's been one of those schools where everybody's like, they got the athletes, got 1,700 kids. They just got to get the coach. And they got a good coach in Stranger who came up from Dowagiac. And they only have 2 players going both ways for Kansas Central, which is unheard of.
Wow.
Which means their numbers are way up. And that could be scary for a lot of opponents in the SMAC. I think for St. Joe, their game against Niles, there was not one really good, any positive thing. I kind of wanted to give the player of the game to the third cheerleader in the front row on the left side. It was just one of those games where from start to finish, it was just not good. So I think for St. Joe, they have to be able to run the ball. They've got to be able to throw the ball some. Doesn't have to be all the time, but you could tell Niles was not worried about St. Joe's passing game because they kept pushing up on the line of scrimmage. Basically had 8-9 in the box and only a couple of DBs.
Yeah, there's no shortage of talent on St. Joe Bears, but really when it comes to there's this real shortage of experience, as we talked about.
Right.
They lost a lot of seniors, so you got a lot of next man up that are going through the, I guess, growing pains of getting through this. So yeah, it's certainly tough. And like you said, there's a lot of things to work through after that loss that they had to Niles. But looking forward to this game, and it's at Dickinson Stadium, right?
Yeah, St. Joe had hoped for the first time in a number of years to get 5 home games, and then last week happened. So technically, it's St. Joe's first home game, at least on the field. They've got youth night. There'll be probably 300 or 400 kids from ages grades 2 through 5 or 6 running around. It's a great atmosphere. St. Joe draws well. Campbell Central historically doesn't draw that well, home or away. So we'll see what they have. The weather is perfect football weather. I mean, you can't ask for better weather. So Guzzo hopefully will have that food up there. So we'll appreciate that. And so I heard you were wondering what we ate at Full Circle too.
Yeah. What was your go-to breakfast? Because I remember Phil saying that the biscuits and gravy or something you got to try out. What is your go-to over there?
I like the breakfast sandwich. It's with a croissant, egg, bacon, and Swiss cheese. I can put that down pretty fast. Nice. And then we got Tom and Roger who come to the show quite often. They're usually eating from 8:15 to 9:45 nonstop. So,
well, food is also a very important thing. Not only when you're having breakfast, hanging out with you guys at the coaches show, but also as you mentioned food. Now I'm thinking about the concession stand over at Dickinson Stadium, because I know if you've ever been to a game at Dickinson Stadium, while you're walking around the whole entire place, you can hear the broadcast from WSJM, but also when you get to the concession stand, have they made it happen yet with have they changed the name of the pretzel with cheese to the Bretzel with Kowski with cheese?
Not yet. We got a petition St. Joe to do that. Maybe you can do that, approach the school board with a petition to make that happen.
I think I'll make that happen for sure.
Yeah, well, if anybody could, it would be you.
That's true. That's true. We'll make that happen. But yeah, looking forward to that game. You'll have it 6:35 pregame, and you and Joel Cordes will call the game, and it should be a good one.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to my Ball State Cardinals. Michigan opens up with East Carolina, UNLV, and Bowling Green. Michigan State opens up with Central and Richmond. I don't even know where Richmond's at. I think in the east side of the country.
Yeah.
Notre Dame opens up with Navy and Tennessee State. Ball State opens up with Kentucky and Georgia.
Yeah.
That is called Big Payday.
Wow. Because you're a Ball State alum, so you're seeing why would they do that to themselves? Why would they have such a strong opponent like number 1 Georgia?
Well, money. I mean, obviously money.
Yeah.
And it is. I mean, you can tell your kids who are, when I played there, you're not Big Ten ability, but you'd like to think you are, or SEC ability. You're going to end up on national TV. Hopefully it's not 75-0, but you'll end up on national TV. So I got my Ball State flag flying out front already.
Awesome.
And if you're watching the live stream right now on video, Brett, where his name should be, he has Go Ball State, beat Georgia.
Yeah. I might be the only person in the country saying that, but
we're with you.
Yeah.
Hey, if it happens, and if you put like $1 on that game, you'll make yourself a lot of money.
We were talking about that yesterday with Colorado. Yeah. Who would have thought Boulder, Colorado would be the head of the football nation this Saturday?
I mean,
Nebraska
I had a lot of belief in Dion and the players that are on that team, but I was not sure that he'd do what his team did this past weekend so early into the game. So that's really great. But looking forward to the game, St. Joe Bears and Kalamazoo Central. We've got that game for you right here on 94.9 WSJM. Your St. Joe Bears football preview is brought to you by our friends at Laser Graphics. Give them the stuff they want from Laser Graphics. Coming up here in just a little while, we'll preview the Lakeshore Lancer football game against Matawan. But Brett, thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Thanks, Brett.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Just as the roots of a mighty oak run.
All
deep.
set, you guys?
All right, Brett. Thanks, man.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
we'll see you. Have a good one.
Thank you. All right. Don't forget to shut off your other computer.
That I did do. Is it
Okay.
still showing up on
It's still showing up. Yeah.
Yeah.
all right.
Don't forget to shut off the coffee, too.
No, coffee's going. Oh, yeah. I'll fix
All right, man. Oh, there we go. Cool.
That's fun.
Good stuff. Yeah, we'll see. At Ball State, that you always have all those small schools that go up against the big schools, and you always wonder, like, why would they do that to themselves? Of course, being able to make some money for the school and get that national attention is really nice. And you've seen the upsets happen.
Well, the
with a lot of
upsets,
teams.
and I mean, it's just the competition going up against that team. It's like, oh, they taught us a few things. It's kind of nice.
Exactly. I saw the what was it? The East Carolina who played up against Michigan last weekend. Just the uniforms that East Carolina had were super awesome. They're the East Carolina Pirates,
Okay.
and famously Blackbeard was around that area, East Carolina area at that back in the day, and so they said that their really cool purple helmets were inspired by him because I
Oh.
guess you would famously wear purple because that was purple back in the day was like the most prominent color you could be wearing. It was like a royal.
You were kind of peacocking.
Yeah. You were like
here I
top
am.
dog. I got a lot of money because I've got purple. So yeah, their helmets were cool because they were like purple, but they were like a chromed out kind of purple, like a shiny purple helmet.
Yeah.
Man, that was cool. So, yeah,
Blackbeard, you said?
Blackbeard, yeah.
Blackbeard. Probably around Ocracoke Island, that area.
Sure, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what town East Carolina University is at, but that's another thing that it does with those games, with those odd schools and odd teams. You get those, you get a little bit of education of where these colleges are, because you're like, like I think what Brett said, Richmond or something like that, or is going to be playing against Michigan State. Yeah, you get education on where these schools are.
Very nice. They are in Greenville, North
Greenville.
Carolina,
Oh, okay.
which is, let's see here. Yeah, they're kind of close to the coastline. And Ocracoke is almost due east.
Okay.
And Hatteras, the Outer Banks.
Very nice.
Yeah, so I'm sure Blackbeard was probably in that area.
I have not been to the Outer Banks. I hear they're quite nice.
They are beautiful. They're beautiful unless you're in a hurricane. But the Wright brothers were out there. They did a little plane practice. History of flight is prominent out there. So it's nice.
Yeah, my brother lives in North Carolina, and that's the first in flight. That's what they have on their
License plate.
plates. So yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So yeah, before news, we will preview the Lakeshore Lancer football game with Al Pashoka. I had a chance to catch up with him yesterday afternoon because he's such a busy man. He could not join us during the morning show.
Well, and it's probably because he's very busy with LMC. He does a lot for Lake Michigan College.
Mm-hmm.
We've had him on the show to talk about that. Sorry, I'm a little distracted because I'm trying to figure out how to update my iPhone.
I think I did. Yeah, we were just talking about this. Apparently, if you are an iPhone user, there's been a major, super important update for security. Which anytime, I don't know about you, but anytime I see, hey, this is a big security risk, we need to update your phone, I pretty much stop what I'm doing and update it because I don't want my phone being taken over and because your phone has so many important things on there. You've got your banking information, your bank apps, and all these other things. If that gets taken
Pictures of the
over,
dog and the
pictures of
kids.
the dog,
Yeah.
absolutely.
No. So, and we should talk about this on the air, but there's a non-clickable security vulnerability. So you don't even have to click something, and that's why they're so urgent about this security fix. So if you have an Apple product, they want you to update it so you don't get hacked.
All right, good to know.
Yeah.
All right, let's check in on our Bloomberg Market Minute here.
Offer with a week to go before the union's contract with the automaker and rivals Ford and Stellantis expires. Stocks were mixed in yesterday's session on Wall Street. Apple shares dropped 6.4% over 2 days for the worst two-day slump in a month. That wiped out almost $200 billion of market value. The drop came as China planned to expand a ban on the use of iPhones to government-backed agencies and state companies. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Jonny and Ken on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
Good morning, getting close to 7:30. Today going to be a nice day, cloudy, small chance for some rain, but a high 70s. So that's going to be good tonight for high school football. We're looking at cloudy skies and low down to 55. Later on Saturday, Sunday, 75, 77. So overall, pretty darn good.
Yeah.
I would say good football weather.
Good. Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect
I
football
don't like the hot days that are usually the first couple weeks of football season, but now we're in that good, nice, light sweater kind of Friday night. So I'm looking forward to that.
Perfect. Should we talk about the Apple security notice?
We can. Do you want to wait on that a little bit, and we can then we can preview Lakeshore Lancer football, and
Let's
then
do the
chat
Lancers
about
first.
we'll chat about the iPhone here in just a little while. But we do, before we get to news, had a chance to catch up with Al Pashoka and talk Lakeshore Lancer football. It's time to preview Lakeshore football. We're very excited because Lakeshore Lancer preview is brought to you by our friends at Laser Graphics. Give them the stuff they want from Laser Graphics. We got the guy who's got the call. That's Al Pashoka, the voice of the Lancers. And I'm hoping you've rested your voice a little bit, because it sounded like last week you got pretty excited because, well, it was an exciting finish for the Lakeshore Lancers against Niles.
Boy, that was the thriller, and I did need a couple of days to get the old voice back, because what a comeback. They trailed the entire game and then scored a touchdown with 27 seconds to go, and Coach Thompson says, hey, let's go for the two-pointer, try to win it, and they win it on a two-point conversion, 15-14, and we had warned you that Niles was pretty good, and they were as advertised. Big, tough, and that was a great high school football game. Great crowd, Johnny. There was a great crowd out there, both from Niles and from Lakeshore. That was great to see on opening night.
Yeah, and you had a lot of the first responders, I know, there as well.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty packed house, right?
Under Sheriff Chuck Height leading them out of the helmet, out of the smoke, and here comes the Under Sheriff with about, I'd say, 40 to 50 first responders that were there. So salute to service. Great night, and now we get Matawan, and the start of the conference season begins Friday night.
Yeah, Matawan 1-1 right now. So what can we expect with this matchup?
They can score some points. So they lost to Rockford on opening night, 56-28, came back and whacked Marshall pretty good, 45-0. So they've scored 73 points the first 2 weeks. They like to run the option. We'll see them run the veer a little bit. So you got to stop the run game. So for the Lakeshore defense, another different look at an option attack, and they'll have to step up and stop that triple option again tonight.
Now, I know there's a lot of still some young talent on the Lancer football team. Are they starting to put things together, and is Coach Thompson feeling confident about the way they're looking at this point in the season?
Well, I'll tell you, it was really the seniors who led the way last week, and he's got 4 3-year guys who are captains who've really led the way and have done a great job. We talked about the Warrior, Matt Vaughn, at quarterback. He's probably one of the few kids in the state, Johnny, who plays middle linebacker and quarterback, 2 of the toughest positions there is to play. And he's the long snapper. This kid never comes off the field. That's why we've nicknamed him the Warrior. And then he's got Zach Ort, who is his favorite target. He's had 3 touchdown catches the last 2 weeks. Alec Woyan, who is an excellent defensive back and punter. And this is a kid who will punt on Saturdays and maybe even Sundays. He is really that good. And Jake Chelman's the big guy in the middle, about 270 pounds. And Danny Thompson says he's one of the top offensive linemen in the state. So those 4 seniors who are in their 3rd year have really provided a lot of leadership the first couple of weeks and probably will for the rest of the season. And there are some young guys who are coming up. And one of the kids to watch, who I can't wait to see him, is John Hall's son, Landon Hall, the quarterback, who's a freshman who is just dynamic. And we'll see him get some varsity snaps this year.
Okay, so kind of mixing it in a little bit and,
Yep.
giving Matt, the starting quarterback, a little bit of a rest as he is playing both sides of the ball. That makes a lot of sense. And give the the defense on the other side a better, a different look with the different quarterback.
Yeah, Landon can really flip the football. I mean, here's a kid who's a 9th grader. He throws the ball about 65 yards in the air. So strong arm. His dad was a great quarterback at Lakeshore, probably one of the top 5 of all time. And he's gotten a lot of good coaching from Papa.
Yeah, and is it getting weird? You're seeing the multiple generations.
Well, I mean, Matt Vaughn. I mean, I'm sitting here talking about Matt Vaughn. I remember, and God, I sounded like Keith Jackson a little bit the first week. Oh, I remember his daddy. And, that was a tackle like his daddy made. But his dad was an all-state linebacker at Lakeshore, all-state wrestler, went to Grand Valley, won 2 national championships when Brian Kelly was the coach. And now Dan's had 2 sons play at Lakeshore, and I've done all their games. So, yes, that makes me feel a little long in the tooth.
Well, we look forward to hearing you and Denny on the game starting around 6:45. You had the pregame.
We'll get the 6:45 with Coach Thompson. Get a great perspective, good interview in, and then 7:00 kickoff at the Stockyard, Al Stockman Stadium.
Yeah, and you'll be able to hear that on our sister station, 97.5 Y Country. But Al, thank you so much for telling us about the game, and look forward to the game later tonight.
Thank you, my friend.
And your Lakeshore football preview brought to you by our friends at Laser Graphics. Give them the stuff they want from Laser Graphics. Go to lasergraphics.com.
WSJM News now. Team coverage from the WSJM newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
In the WSJM newsroom, I'm Michael Arney. DNA from invasive silver carp has been found in the St. Joseph River. However, that doesn't mean any invasive carp, previously known as Asian carp, have made it into the waterway. Tammy Newcomb with the Michigan Department of Natural Resources tells us the eDNA, or environmental the 1960s that bans the parking of RVs on driveways. This week's
All righty. What a day. Busy day today. Been previewing high school football, and you can check out those podcasts at WSJM.com and the WSJM app. Still a lot of show left to do here. Ken, what's happening in the news corner over by you? What are you doing in your little box over there?
In the news box. Oh, goodness gracious. This invasive carp DNA thing is
Yeah.
odd, is very odd.
How did they end up finding the DNA and running across the DNA? Because when I first saw carp, I thought, okay, somebody caught one. That would
Yeah.
make the most sense. Somebody caught one
Right.
and said, wait a minute, this isn't supposed to be here. This is bad. I need to report this. But how do you run across the DNA?
Yeah, I mean, it's just gotta be water samples to see what is
Sure.
it that they're finding in there. The DNR collects hundreds of water samples
Sure.
every month, and they will continue to take water samples to see how pervasive this is.
Mm-hmm.
But again, what they have said is just because we found some DNA in the water sample on a
Sure.
regular monitoring basis doesn't mean it's actually here. They had a situation, was it 5 years ago in the Kalamazoo River,
Yep.
and they never found
Mm-hmm.
an actual carp. So was it just something that drifted in? Was it something that came in after another animal ate it? Who knows?
Mm.
But yeah, water samples, they find stuff, they check it out. It's almost like an early detection system.
Yeah. I mean, it makes a lot of sense that they're checking all that stuff on a regular
Yeah.
basis for all kinds of different things, but it
Yeah.
certainly gives a little bit of warning, maybe, or caution about possibility of them actually being in the water, which will be very, very bad.
I mean, it's similar to what health departments do for on the land for
Yeah.
checking, capturing mosquitoes, ticks, etc., and checking them to see are they the kind of insect, the certain variety, family, genus, species, whatever that carries these certain viruses. And if they are that species, then check them for the virus. So it's a little bit of that, just monitoring everything to see, well, what do we have to deal with now?
Yeah. I just thought that like they brought Maury to the water, and it's like you are DNA tests, you are not the carp.
You are not the carp.
Oh, jeez. Well,
Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah,
invasive
watch out
species.
for it. If you're just joining us on our live stream, we appreciate you doing that. Feel free to comment from maybe where are you watching from today? Are you, what town, or are you sitting on the couch or having your cup of coffee, your breakfast, or maybe you're already at work, but it's Friday, it's a 4-day week, Friday of a 4-day week, and you're like, do I have to work, or can I just watch the show for a little bit until I actually have to put some work in?
Oh boy.
So feel free to reach out. We'd love to hear from you. Yeah, Fridays of a 4-day work week are tough because I feel like even though you had that day off on Monday, you sort of lose the motivation
Mm,
to finish out Friday. You're just like, want to get back to that weekend that I had just 4 days ago.
yeah. Yeah. And I think you brought up the point earlier. Get all the work done in a shorter amount of time. You're still responsible for the work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's because we've heard what was it? The United Auto Workers were
Oh my
getting ready
goodness.
to possibly go on strike, and they were doing the negotiations, and one of the big things, well, two big things, was a pay raise,
Yeah.
but also the other part of that pay raise was, yeah, give us the pay raise, but we only want to work 32 hours. So
A week.
essentially a 4-day work week.
Yeah.
Or, so I find that I don't know in something like automotive production, cutting 8 hours of production time off of, I mean, each worker, maybe that is good. Maybe they're able to get more things done and have less less mistakes of any kind or any issues. But I just don't know how they could manufacture the amount of vehicles and things that they want to manufacture in that shorter amount of time and still be as profitable as they'd want to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and two, I mean, there was a period of time, especially during the pandemic, where you couldn't get the vehicle you wanted. You had to either take what was on the lot, or you had to order it and wait months. I
Because
had a
this
friend who
whole Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, I was just gonna say that I had a friend of mine, a coworker, a former
Mhm.
coworker, who they had to wait over a year, and then
Yeah.
after they waited that long period of time, they said, we're not making that anymore. Here are some options."
Oh, no.
Yeah. They had put a deposit down and everything.
That's the crazy part because yeah, they really have been pushing for the hey, order the vehicle, customize a little bit. Usually, back in the day, that wasn't really you didn't see a lot of people doing that. Sometimes
Yeah.
they would order something special, but most of the time you'd have people purchasing something off the lot. So you're seeing less and less cars in some of those auto lots. But yeah, what I'm thinking too is this also is something that when the demand is going to be where it is and possible production be a little bit lower is that you're going to deal with the other issue of already the price of a vehicle is pretty high. I just imagine it getting even higher if they
Mm.
say, yeah, since the auto workers only want to work 32 hours a week, we're gonna cut our production down 8 hours per week. So that means the amount of cars we're gonna put out is going to be less. So demand got to be higher. That means your vehicle gonna cost even more. I just feel like that chain reaction is going to happen.
Great.
Yeah. So just be on the
Just
lookout for that. Be on the
J
lookout. Yeah, your car's gonna get more cars are gonna get even more expensive.
Mm, that's not good news.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a thought, but I know everybody knows kinda how business works. So, if something happens like that, where there's always that chain reaction of something like this happening.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. All right, let's see what the weather's gonna be like for this weekend.
Services 911 Hero Climb, sponsored by ABC 57, Mailmax, and 97.5 Y Country.
WSJM Weather You Can Depend On is sponsored by Boss Services, raising the standard for heating, cooling, and electrical in Southwest Michigan. Boss Services.
Another dreary day, gray skies overhead, highs upper 60s to near 70 degrees. A few showers possible, though seeing some dry time. Becoming partly to mostly cloudy tonight, cooling to the mid 50s. Sun returns just in time for the weekend, warming slightly as well. Highs mid 70s by Sunday. Staying dry most of Monday, though a cold front in the evening will bring scattered showers and a few rumbles of thunder Tuesday. I'm WSBT meteorologist Jessica Burns.
The Morning Show with Jonny and Ken on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
You can be part of the show anytime. You can call 925-WSJM, email let's talk at WSJM.com, or comment on our Facebook or YouTube. We are live on your TV screen and your computer right now. I don't know. Someday I'll get rid of the voice like that, but I find it interesting. And
Comforting.
hilarious. Yes, it's comforting. Yes.
Yes.
Trustworthy programming. That's what we have here. We were just talking about this a moment ago about the rising costs of a lot of different things. We were talking earlier this week about the United Auto Workers, their possibility of going on strike because they were doing some negotiations. And I'm just worried that cars are going to get even more expensive with all of
Even
this
more
stuff.
than they already are?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then just the other day, we were talking about the iPhone, where it was because everybody there's like governments, not only the United States government and government officials, but even in like certain states, they said no TikTok. You can't do the TikToks. So China had come back and said, all right, we're just going to not do the iPhone. So, but the iPhone, we were just looking at it because you and I both are iPhone users.
Yep.
There's a big security update problem thing going on?
Yeah, Apple has issued an emergency warning for Apple iPhone users to update their iOS to at least 16.6.1, or
Mhm.
if you have an iPad, 16.6.1 right away. The update
Okay.
apparently fixes security vulnerabilities that Apple says could be used to attack iPhones and iPads. Processing a maliciously crafted image may lead to arbitrary code execution. Apple says they're aware of a report that this issue may have been actively exploited. For those who don't understand the tech jargon that I just spelled out, that basically means if you load an image, if you go to a website and you load an image without this
Mhm.
update, a code, a malicious code, a virus could get launched. So you
Ooh.
don't even have to click anything.
So it could be, like, hidden behind the background. You wouldn't
Yeah,
even notice that it's in there, but if you had it, you would, possibly make yourself vulnerable to some all kinds of different bad things.
bad stuff. The warning means that hackers may already be exploiting the security vulnerabilities. Apple, of course, says they don't talk about the security stuff too much.
Mhm.
They don't disclose, discuss, or confirm security alerts until an investigation has occurred and patches and releases are available. So apparently, the releases are out there. They want you to upgrade and get rid of this no-click exploit.
Mm. Yeah.
That's not good.
I don't know about you, but I know when I get, a notification like that when it says, like, important security update, I usually don't ignore that, and I do that
No.
pretty rather quickly because it's like, okay, security risk, that's not good.
Mm-mm.
There's a lot of really important stuff on my phone. If all of a sudden that thing becomes a brick, that
Yeah.
whoever could have access to quite a lot of information, including my cards and my banking information, as well as all those really adorable pictures of Plinko. I don't want to lose those.
No. No. So iPad, iPhone, I think they even released something for the Watch OS. Yeah, Apple has released an OS 9.6.2 to
Okay.
address the vulnerability. So whether you got no matter what Apple products you have, just make sure your OS, your operating system is updated.
And you've got a couple of them because I noticed that you all of a sudden you're grabbing your iPad, you're grabbing the other stuff, and you're like, "Okay, let's get this done now."
Update me now.
Yeah. You've even got the Apple Car, don't you?
The car?
Yeah, do you have the Apple Car?
Do they have an Apple
I think
car?
they were talking about building an Apple Car. I
That would be
figured you
so
already
cool.
had the prototype.
Speaking of cars, I saw that BMW is finally killing their plan to do the subscriptions for stuff that's already in your car. Remember the heated
Oh,
seats? They wanted to charge like 18 bucks a month for a heated seat to turn them on. Yeah, they decided,
yeah.
that apparently that wasn't very popular with our with our drivers.
Aren't they doing that with some other like Tesla? Are they
Uh,
doing any of that stuff?
Tesla has subscription stuff, BMW, I'm sure there are others out there, but it's just, to me, if I'm driving the technology around, if I'm paying the gas to drive that stuff around, make
Right.
it work. Otherwise, keep it out of the
Yeah,
car.
don't do any paywalls with all that stuff. I feel like it's gonna get to the point where, like, when you watch something, when you're, like, get the ad-supported things,
Yeah.
could you imagine you're sitting in your car and you start the car up and they're like, "In order to start the trip, you have to watch this ad first." That's what's gonna happen. It's just
No,
gonna
no, it's gonna get worse. You're gonna go to your back door or your front door and try to get
yeah,
out for the day to go to work, and there's gonna be a paywall right there.
yeah, exactly.
In order to access the outside, the planet, you need to watch this ad or pay this amount per month.
Watch this quick Pepto-Bismol ad
Oh,
or
no.
this Tide commercial before
No,
you jump out of your car.
that was yesterday, the airplane thing, the incident
Oh, yeah,
that we
yeah.
shall not speak of.
Yeah, the washing of your clothes. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's because just like anything, your phone and your car's always listening. I saw that
Yeah.
a lot of what was it, a couple car manufacturers, they have, the extra cameras and different things to keep
Oh,
you safe.
yeah.
They're also turning a lot of that stuff on and monitoring some of the things you might be doing.
Yeah, car
So,
surveillance.
yeah, that's crazy.
And they're selling the data. I mean, that's the
Of
way
course.
a lot of companies are making the money right now is selling the data. They collect a lot of data. You think about automotive industry and what they're able to collect and see and hear and understand. They know where you're going. I'm going to the grocery store, then I'm going to the bank, or I'm going on this amount of trip. They have so much data, they can sell it, and people want to buy it because they want to sell you stuff.
I want a minimalist car. I just
Yes.
want the vehicle that's just like, give me the carburetor, give me all that stuff. The back in the day, the simple car that just had the radio that just has a few presets on there, and I'm good.
I want the steam engine in the car. I don't even want gas anymore.
I don't even need cruise control. You can get rid of that option too. I'm just give me a basic car so I can go on my road trips and not have to deal with all the extra problems. One other thing, I know we also pay attention to a lot of things that are in the night sky. Coming up next week, your chance to see a comet.
Ooh.
That's only happened for it hasn't happened for 400 years.
Whoa.
The Nishimura comet isn't new, but we're getting acquainted to it. Apparently, it's been making regular visits every few hundred years.
Oh, how did they know that?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Math.
The half-mile wide chunk of ice will zip past us next Tuesday.
Okay.
And it won't be seen again until the 25th century.
Oh. Okay.
So, yeah,
How
'cause
close
what
is
it? I don't know how close it's gonna be. It's at least gonna be enough where it's gonna be visible in the night sky.
Oh, that's fun.
But what is it? Halley's Comet, isn't that
Right.
like every 50 years or something like that?
No idea.
Or 75? I know it's like basically someone's lifetime. So it's a once in a lifetime kind of thing, but this is a once in a,
Several
multiple
lifetimes.
generations, so
Halley's Comet every 75 to
75.
79 years.
all right.
Some will say it's 76 if you want to be precise.
Yeah. Well, yeah, things change over time.
So once every 400 years. That's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
It is pretty neat. So I'm not sure what time, what day exactly, but sometime next week they said you should be able to see it. So hopefully there's no cloudy skies. But really, how are you going to be able to tell that between like a shooting star?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
am I going to notice it?
Hmm.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yep.
But coming up here in just a little while, we have your Moody on the Market update.
That's right.
Updating you on what are we updating them on?
United Way has a pop-up event, a pop-up giving event that they want to tell you about.
Nice. We'll chat about that here in a few. It's the morning show on 94.9 WSJM.
As chief official White House photographer for President Obama and an official White House photographer.
All right. Some pop-ups. I like it.
United
They haven't done
Way.
that in a while.
I like the pop-up concept.
Yeah.
No long commitment. You just get the pop-up.
Like pop-up ads, you're okay with those?
I'm thinking pop-up restaurants.
Oh, okay.
That'd
Yeah,
be
those
fun.
are cool. Those are cool.
Food trucks fill that need a lot.
Pop-up
That's cool.
tents. Those are nice too. Simple and
Pop-up.
easy.
Yeah. Pop-up video.
Yeah, pop-up video. Wasn't that a thing?
That was a thing.
That was
It was VH1, right?
Yeah. You would watch the video and then you'd have these little pop-ups that
Comments
gave you
like
little
pop-up.
fun facts. Yeah.
If we could add that to our software here, that'd be fun.
Ooh.
Just little thought bubbles.
Okay. I'm sure we can get a hold of the folks that help
should
us
talk to
with
them.
these things, make it
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, I've
Oh.
always wondered about the Apple security thing. I've always wondered, why haven't they exploited this before? Just turning on your phone, it accesses so many different services through the
Mhm.
Wi-Fi or whatever,
Mhm.
and it just seems like they would have found this kind of vulnerability before.
Right. It's
But
gotta be
just-
hard to be security of
Oh my gosh.
software like that's on, millions and millions of people's devices.
There's always somebody trying to hack it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, didn't they always say that the Apple products are a little harder to hack just because of the there's not as much like Windows has, Windows and Android, there's always so many different ways of doing things, and really there's only one Apple.
Yes. Yeah, and because the OS, the operating system for the PC platform has been open for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Morning
Sure.
show on WSJ.
Technology, man.
It's fun stuff.
Fun stuff. We do love technology when it works, and when it doesn't work, we hate it. Yeah, we've had our fair share of technical issues this morning. At one point, I thought, because we do the show from our houses on Friday, because we have such busy lives to get to, but we still want to do this fine award-winning program. Also, we want to save a little money on gas.
There you go.
So another reason. But this morning at about 15 minutes before the show was going to start, somebody said, "Hey, we lost access to this thing that's pretty important." It's like, okay, cool.
It was the VPN, the virtual private network.
Yeah. So I didn't know if I was going to have to drive into work, and if it was, then this award-winning program would have had to start late. So that would not have been good. So, but we are running okay this morning, so that's good.
Good.
But if you want to know Southwest Michigan's business, you can check it out at moodyonthemarket.com and the Moody on the Market app. Stay in the know with the stories from our team of contributors, as well as our Moody on the Move series and so much more. Your update brought to you by our friends at Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owners agency with locations in St. Joseph and in Niles. And United Way is popping up in places.
That is exactly right. The United Way of Southwest Michigan is bringing back its pop-up giving events, with the first to be held next week at Lake Michigan College. The United Way says pop-up giving is when some local nonprofits each make a pitch for a project before an audience, and the audience then gets to decide which one gets their support.
Now, this time around, Be Healthy Berrien, the Berrien College Access Network, and 211 will each have 3 minutes to make a pitch to benefit the community. Now, the audience will have 5 minutes to complete their ballots to vote for their choice of the winner. The proceeds from, it is. It's like a game show.
It's like a Pecha Here's my argument. Donate, please.
Exactly. Proceeds from all of the ticket sales will be combined to create a donation pot, the bulk of which will go to the winner. Second and third place finishers each will receive consolation cash prizes of $250.
That is very nice. Tickets to the pop-up giving events are $25. They can be bought online, and we have a link to where you can get that and more information at moodyonthemarket.com. The event will be at the LMC Welch Center next Thursday from 5 to 6:30 p.m.
Very nice. Still a lot to get to here on the show. We'll catch you up with news, sports, and a whole lot more, but that's your Moody on the Market update. It's brought to you by our friends at Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owners agency with locations in St. Joseph and in Niles.
We're watching over you, IMS Insurance.
Well, that'll be fun. They haven't done that in a few years, I don't think, the pop-up giving. I think it's a fun concept.
That is.
It gets people informed on some of these United Way partners, funded partners that they may not even realize are in their community. So it's pretty cool.
We should check into hosting one of those. That'd be fun.
And do a pop-up where people can learn more about our show.
No, we host it for the United Way. Maybe they do it in our parking lot or something, because we've got a big parking lot.
There you go. We do have a good sized parking lot, and it's Yellow Jacket free.
It is Hornet and Wasp and Yellow Jacket free right now.
That's really awesome.
Because the guys came this week, said, move your cars. We're going to bug bomb the hornet nest.
Yeah, that went well.
I didn't notice a problem in the first place, but then when they made me move my car, I took a picture of the nest. I showed you, and it's a big nest. And I have not actually looked at the tree to see if it's gone, but I bet it's gone by now.
Wow.
I don't know how they do that. Do they poison it first and then wait to see? Or do they knock it down? What do they do?
I think they fog it. I think there's some sort of fog of some sort of thing that I don't know if it kills it.
Asphalt fog it?
Maybe. I don't know. They spray foam it. I'm not sure, but I want to see the nest.
Yeah.
I want to see, of course, hopefully they're all gone, but I'd love to see the nest because that was such a huge nest.
It was huge.
And I would love to see a cross section of that thing to see what's inside.
Yeah.
Neat.
That would be cool.
All right. Well, we've still got a lot of show yet to do, but I think we're going to wrap this up and get ready for the weekend. Do you have big plans for the weekend?
I don't. It'll be nice. I think just to get outside and play around in the tool shed, do that kind of stuff. How about you?
Very nice. We're gonna work some more this weekend.
Oh no,
Yeah,
they get
gotta
you working again?
Yeah,
Oh.
gotta get things rolling behind the scenes here for some of these sports programming that we have going on.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we'll be a little bit busy this weekend, but hopefully I'll be able to get out and do some things and not feel like a troll inside of my home. On the inside, just becoming an office monster here at my house. But
Oh boy.
all right, everybody, you have a great weekend. If you have plans for the weekend, feel free to send us a comment or a message. We appreciate you spending some time with us this morning.